So this is a VOD that I really wanted to showcase because it's one of those games where a player, in this case me, feels like they played really well and yet we lost. So this is the common trap mentality of I hard carried. How do we lose a game where I hard carry? We're gonna be watching here just how often I actually made mistakes that could have won us the match. Yes, you can very well just carry harder, and this thing about medals and stats often lacks context. You might have felt like you did a lot because you see a shiny gold medal alongside a really high damage number, but that doesn't mean that that damage went on the correct thing. Let's say you dealt 1000 damage to a hog. The hog can probably tank that. Let's say you did 300 damage to a squishy. That squishy probably didn't actually take that. You probably killed the squishy because they got healed a little bit, but then you bursted them down, right? That 300 damage is lower than the 1000 damage, but it is way more meaningful because it netted you an elimination. And so stats, medals lack context and can put you in these mentalities of, oh hey, I did really well and how did we lose? Oh, I'm gonna flame my team, I'm not gonna be able to take anything away. And that's the most important part. If you get away from this, it's my team's fault. If you notice that you could have done more, that's when you manage to improve in the game, right? If you are tilted that if your team did more, you could have won, and that is true. If my team did more in this match, we could have easily won. If I just get satisfied by thinking that and I feel like my performance was good, I'm not gonna learn anything, I'm not gonna improve from this match. If I go ahead and look at this match as, okay, I should have done more and we would have won this, then I can easily go ahead and learn from this experience because I'm accepting that I didn't do as much as I could and I'm looking to improve to do more the next time, right? That's a very important shift in mentality that I'm gonna be going over in this VOD, and it is why I feel like this VOD is so important to talk about. So without further ado, let's watch this. Let's see how much I did and how much it ended up not doing. Rolling out, trying to go as fast as possible, see the enemy comp and hold a good position. See, pocketed soldier. I do this wall climb so that I don't get close to any surface that the helix rocket can hit and then can splash me. Let's say I drop here. The helix may be able to splash me if I'm here and kill me, so I'm wall climbing because there's nowhere that can splash me, and since he can't direct me because of the column in front of me, I'm completely safe there after taking that poke. I didn't want to burn my deflect, and I managed not to because I was able to hide in time from the soldier, right? Now I'm trying to rotate right side, see if I have good pathing to get to the soldier. Probably should not have shot the diva if I'm trying to go for this sneaky play. I would have gone the full way here, but since the soldier and the mercy, which are the targets that I mainly care about, right? The other DPS is Sombra, maybe I can go for the Ana, but I was not seeing the Ana at that time, so the main target that I'm trying to contest are the mercy and the soldier. Even if not to kill them, just to remove this damage from the team, because that's a lot of damage. I decided that since they're rotating away from this position here, I am not gonna have time to afford to go the full way. So I'm gonna have to cut a little bit and go in a little bit of more in view position of the enemy to try to actually turn this fight, because we just lost our hog, right? They should be lower on cooldowns at this point because they just spent Ana had an assist, the hog probably used hook for this play, so I probably need to rush in to do something at this point and I cannot afford the full flank, right? That is my decision. I try to get some early damage on the mercy, not get anyone low enough so that I feel like I should commit to someone. So I immediately try to get out and I melee the Sombra immediately to prevent a hack, which is gonna be the main thing that's gonna kill me because it's gonna prevent me from deflecting the rest of the way after that. After I already do the initial engagement and all of them are aware of me and maybe try to hook me or CC me and stuff like that. Mostly playing my life here, not trying to over aggro on them, even if we're down. Now I'm trying to contest them, but this dash here isn't like, oh hey, I'm hard committing onto them. I'm close to 2 pillars which I can play around, and I'm just trying to pressure them out of this position. And I can also not only play around these 2 pillars, I can also immediately drop, and then I'm out of their line of sight. They can chase, but they're gonna be half HP for my engagement. My team is gonna be there to be able to shoot them. So this engagement is a soft engagement that looks to get space, and if they overstay their welcome, I get an elimination, right? It's very low risk for me to do this play. End up missing the kill on the soldier, my Widow gets a finish. At that point I just say I can engage this Ana and take the duel, and I take it and I win it. And we turn the fights, right? Everyone in the team did very well for us to be able to turn the fight after we lost Hog early. So we get points. First thing I do is try to look for positioning. This is a good position that allows me to poke. I rotate between the pillar and here because this gets me closer, so that if I get someone low, it's easier for me to dash and finish, and for me to land secondary fires instead of primaries. But anything I shoot really is gonna be easier to land closer range, right? And I still have my dash to rotate, I can drop, I have a lot of cover, so not like me going from here to here is any dangerous. This is a good play from me, and I'm not actually trying to deflect on the soldier because it's actually very unlikely for me to be able to kill him. So I'm just actually trying to farm blade, because I see that my end is very close, so I'm deflecting on the hog instead, because that means that the soldier is probably more likely to shoot more bullets. Why? Because the pressure isn't going for him, the pressure is going for someone else. If you deflect damage back at someone, they're gonna notice that you're deflecting sooner than if you're deflecting it at someone else. So those are the reasons why I deflect on the hog instead of at the soldier, right? And then I just dash back because I don't want to end up feeding because Sombra hacks me from an off angle and I don't dash in time, right? Alright, I'm close to blade. Our plan is to nano blade this fight and win it. So I'm trying to not over peek. I'm not even trying to set up for any aggressive plays or sneaking on the backline, mainly because of Sombra too. So it's not just because of Nanoblades, because Sombra can spot me and I won't even know. The enemy team can turn at me, the Sombra can hack me, and I'm just throwing and giving my team a 5v6, right? So going for these aggressive setups are gonna be way more dangerous to do when you're trying to defend against Sombra, because Sombra can catch you off guard, right? Be it her or by her scouting. So this is why I'm playing here. I'm kiting back to point while slowly getting outcharged. Checking right side. If someone tries to rotate there, I get attacked by the Sombra. I decided here that it was fine for me to get hacked because my team has LOS. My Brig is already pre-packing me before I'm taking damage. Because of the hack, she knows that I'm gonna get pressured. I have a Hog here to prevent them from really trying to push, because Hog can maybe one-shot someone or punish whoever tries to go for me in this angle. Because I have to go for a really aggressive peek on my team to be able to hit me on this area, because I have really good cover here, right? So I have a Zarya, so I decided I'm gonna let myself get hacked, because hack is gonna expire sooner than my dash would be off cooldown if I dashed away from the hack, right? So I decided I'm gonna tank this hack, I'm gonna use positioning and my team to stay alive, and then I'm gonna nanoblade after. The problem is my Ana just gets instantly killed by the soldier by his greedy peek, which ends up not being punished by my team, and also because he just landed the damage boosted helix to my Ana's face, right? 2 shots plus this kills my Ana, so even if it is a greedy peek by the soldier, he can feel pretty confident in doing when they have a diva against a hog and the diva is in a position to dive in and defense matrix a hook. So it's a good play by them, which screws up with our plans. Now I would not blade here if my Widow didn't get a pick, but I'm blading here because my Widow got a pick. At this point, it was very dangerous for me to do this whole rotation without deflect, without dash. But I really don't want to dash to close the distance here when the Mercy is going to be able to fly away and I'm not going to be able to kill her with the swing and a dash. So this is why I save it. I was thinking about deflecting the hog, but I decided against it because I didn't want to burn it in case that the Sombra would try to hack me, and then I would use my dash to stay alive instead of be greedy on the kill and the Mercy. So if something dangerous to happen, I was going to use my dash first and then use my deflect later for rotation, because the deflect isn't as good at dodging the hack as the dash is. So because of this, I end up having the liberty to dash to follow the Guardian Angel, which doesn't immediately kill the Mercy because of the pillar, but it ends up netting me the elimination on the Sombra, which is a little bit lucky. But even if I didn't land, my next swing would get to be on the Mercy, so I end up getting value with the blade into this composition, and we'll win the fight. They used some ult for it. Good. Now we're chilling. Now I do this dash because I'm scared of the soldier. He just lasered me and I was very low. I don't want to give any chance for them to kill me, so I just dash back to the ground to have recover. And since it's still like they could try to push me, but it's still very dangerous for them. One, they're gonna be pushing into a genji close range. Two, they're gonna be pushing into my team's line of sight, right? So that's why it isn't the worst thing in the world for me to use this dash. I feel like this is the best decision there, other than deflecting. Now I'm trying to hold this position, playing the pillar. They end up wasting whole hog. I try to deflect the whole hog to try to help my hog, which is gonna get whooped off by the whole hog. I don't want to use my dash to get in front of him because one, I run the risk of dying to the whole hog by dashing too close before I can deflect because of the dash animation. And two, because the hog can just look away, so it's not like I will get the kill. So I'm just gonna try to walk up to the deflect, but if it doesn't work, I'm not gonna have wasted both cooldowns to get in. I'm gonna have my dash to get out if I need to, right? Now they got 2 picks, 4 picks now. We try to commit with the nano back. And this is one of the things. We're later gonna see that me killing this Mercy could have been one of the things that turns this match. But because I didn't kill her, because I rushed my shots instead of jumped and tried to line up the headshots with the jump, I could have simply looked up, triple headshot melee. Mercy is dead. That means that the enemy team would have 1, 2, 3 dead, right? Both support and Sombra. So both tanks and Soldier would be the only ones alive. Maybe we don't necessarily win the fight through that, but the next fight we're gonna have an advantage on, because our kills are more recent than their kills. So me missing this kill is very big. And now I'm also gonna stagger myself trying to run away as if I had any chance, right? So this just wastes a little bit of time. It's not the worst thing in the world, I get some ult charge out of it, but when we don't have a nano to combo against this composition, Blade gets way less value, right? So me staggering for that ult charge is arguably not worth it. So that's another mistake in my part. The hog gets slapped. Because the hog is on low ground, there isn't really any imminent danger, so I don't deflect to save him. I do deflect to try to save myself from Ana cooldowns, and after I see that she uses them, so she slapped my hog and she naded. Or actually, this deflect is actually just a waste. I was kind of thinking about deflecting because of the D.Va, because the D.Va close range can deal a lot of damage to you, but the D.Va just ended up not caring about me. So I end up wasting my dash. And here, I died because I didn't notice that the D.Va was sweeping in here. She used boosters and that gives me a slight boop that puts me back into Soldier's line of sight. Otherwise I would have dashed here, right? If I noticed, I would have dashed here. But without the D.Va boop, I'm just safe here and I have my dash if I want to get somewhere, which is probably gonna be to dash here to try to run to Mega. But it's still an okay trade for me to do. It's one of the best Blade value plays that I'm gonna be getting against this composition, so I go for it. Just unfortunate that the boop happens and I end up trading ultimates for it, which is good. Now I'm walking back, they're using way more ultimates now, which is good for us. We still got a pick on the Ana, don't have a rest for it. I'm not gonna be able to walk up to this left soldier, so I just respect the hog and get out. Try to bait hook so that I can stay, play more aggro, try to force them from positions. This is a dash for mobility. Not really looking for the kill. Looking for a cheeky off angle here. Now I'm looking to rotate on the back line. I destroyed the translocator. Unfortunately, the Mega is hacked. And the soldier is chasing me. And not only is the soldier chasing me, I didn't grab high ground because I dropped. I don't know why I dropped instead of staying up here, but I dropped. Now I'm in a very unfavorable position. But if I kill him fast, then I get the win, right? If he plays close range into me. Sure, it is scary for me, and one Helix kills me, and I was down by deflect. That's one of the biggest things, because I burned my deflect early. But I feel like burning my deflect early is the best course of action. The main risk I have there to lose the 1v1 and is to get Helix in the face. If I don't get Helix in the face, I don't get one shot. And so as long as I can kill him fast, using a secondary fire, dash secondary fire, that makes it hard for him to aim, I'm fine. So I deflect preemptively and then I look for a quick kill because that's my only chance in that situation, unless I want to go for a long reset play. And my long reset play is getting to dash to the high ground and hoping that the soldier doesn't camp me going for his mega, and hoping that his mega isn't hacked, or this one is, right? So I thought that in this position with the time bank right there, 85% at this point, I needed to take that fight. They could not hope to reset and get back in the fight. I get the kill on the soldier. I'm looking for my way to get back in. I get the nano, which heals me, and now I go for this hug. I'm deflecting, try to see if I can help. Unfortunately, I can't. I get played out of this. We got the fight win. We have some ultimates, we still have others. Probably should be able to win with Rally Blade. And this is where one of the biggest mistakes of the match happened. My Brig rallies when we're talking about the plan for the next fight, which is unfortunate, but it still means that we're gonna have overhealth for the next fight. The biggest mistake isn't on her, it's actually on me. Because I go here, okay, 300 HP, I can dive them, I want to blade early. When I don't necessarily need to actually blade early. I feel like I played this well. I didn't outstrike Nano, but I mostly played to try to outplay cooldowns, chase them, and try to get the kill on the Mercy through multiple means, dashing before the ultimate to get some early damage into her, play the high ground to try to swing and have more freedom to dash to wherever she grenades towards. I decided that it wasn't worth it when I saw that she was healing. She was getting healed by both Ana and Soldier, and she was grenading over here, so I thought that it was too risky for me to try to commit to a kill. So I decided to try to get out. I got the dash reset on the bow, and still, this is a 6v5 for us because Ball had to go 1v5 for this. My play, even though it doesn't get value from kills, it gets value from taking out their nano, plus getting the attention of all of the enemy team and me not dying for it while my team gets rid of Ball, right? But they're still gonna manage to lose this fight because I could have gotten more value out of Blade, right? Unfortunately, Baby Diva was won and we didn't get the finish early. I got the finish on a few people, but unfortunately it's just not enough. The enemy team just clutches this fight out. The ball is already back. They get res, the soldier is alive with Mercy Pocket, the Mercy gets Volkov. And because I didn't set up for a higher value blade, and because I bladed early into an advanced position, I ended up making it harder for me to get value from Blade. I did get a lot of value from Blade, I just could have gotten more. And this is a very important moment for me to make a mistake, because this mistake loses us the round. Sure, Brig Rally being in a better timing would have probably made us win, and Ana not getting picked off at the start, which is what I think what happened, also would have been big. Okay, I'm pretty sure that my Ana got picked off early because of her positioning. Actually, both my Brig and my Ana got picked off early because of their positioning. But still, that doesn't mean that I couldn't have won this fight by blading and killing a lot of squishies, because I had rally armor. If I play positions well, they are forced to touch point, right? So at that point they can't run away so easily, they can't peel so easily because they are forced to stay in this square. At least someone on their team is. And since we already got rid of Ball, then that means that one of these 5 players has to go there. So that means that there's one less player I have to care for. And that also means that I have better ways to get angles on them for Blade, or a surprise engagement on them. Because that means that when the enemy team tries to push points, sure, the Diva can touch alone, but the enemy wants to get line of sight to actually get stuff done, right? Soldier wants this position probably, Hanzo might want this position here. Or an angle similar to Soldier, or climbing on this pillar, stuff like that, right? So I could have waited for those, camped one of these positions, right? I stay here, wait for them to be close, and then I get to do more damage than just that in dash engagement that I did in the Mercy. Pull out the blade and then probably helps me guarantee it. Or if I just had better target priority, maybe I go for the Ana, or I track that they have nano, that I bait nano into one target, let's say the soldier, and then I go for the Mercy, right? Or the Hanzo, or whatever. I just could have played that very differently, and it's very easy for me to get baited into, oh, my team should have not positioned very badly there, when I can just realistically very easily win this fight, even with the mistakes from my team, right? So that's this round. Lost this round, I felt like I did well. I could have definitely done way more this round. This is far from the best round I played, but it already helps us learn a little bit. Probably should not have shot the ball, but this is something that I do immediately, usually on this map, because This is a good position. This allows you to, if they try to go inside, you can drop on them with both your cooldowns available, right? That is what I talk about pathing a lot in VOD reviews. Pathing is very important for Genji because it allows him to have lower risk or no risk for the plays that he wants to go for, which are close range duels and stuff. That instead of having to dash into those, can dash out of them if he fucks up, right? In this case, I do dash in, but that's because of a very important thing. They don't have someone that can very easily punish me. In fact, it's gonna be very hard for them to punish me during the time that I dash in and try to look for a combo. And the soldier is discorded. The soldier being discorded means that I can get 200 damage into him without having any headshots, which makes the combo way easier. Plus the angle that I'm at, dashing into the ground from an angle, means that it's easier for me to pinpoint a good position for the dash to get a very easy to land angle on the one shot, right? So I just get to do this dash, secondary fire, melee combo with just body shots, and that kills him. Because angle helps me, the surprise play helps me, the discord helps me, there's really very little time for them to slip me where I cannot deflect. There isn't really someone that can kill me through this, so there isn't like someone like a Winston or a Zarya, a high charge that can taser me or laser me from my deflect, so no Cassidy stun, for example, that can splash away from my deflect and get me stunned. So I feel like this is a very safe opportunity for me to go for, because if I fuck this up, I deflect, I drop down, I can rotate maybe here, or I can rotate inside, or I can rotate here, or I can walk all the way left and then walk climb here and have this position to play and go here. I just have so much to do if this fails that I'm completely fine. I'm just posturing for positioning and soft engaging while having this great opportunity to just straight up win the fight, most likely, because I'm gonna be denying the whole high ground from them. I deflect trying to see if something's gonna happen, but it doesn't. I'm just spamming them to try to force them out of this position, and at this point they're giving up positioning. Get the kill on the Ana. She doesn't have slip. I don't remember if I cared about nade there or not. She probably used nade too, but I thought that this was a good risk for me to take because it was unlikely that she would live. And I was confident in my aim to get that. That's also another important thing. It's not like you can't take any risks and you just have to play, oh, I'm always going to path in a way that I can dash out. No, if you feel like the risk is worth it, you can go for the play. It might not be the best, but also another very important thing is that the risk reward isn't the only thing that matters when going for those plays. Another thing that really matters is going to be how confident you are in the play. If you're feeling hot, if you're feeling that you're doing very well, then you can end up going for more plays. That doesn't mean any play is gonna be good, right? You can still make very stupid plays even when you're playing at your peak performance, right? But if you're feeling well, that's going to give you a little bit more leeway to go for these aggressive types of plays that don't really have a plan to get out outside of getting a pick, trading for value, or just getting the value that you want and getting out from the dash reset, right? Because you're going to be hitting your shots more often. If you go for those types of plays on a bad day, it's less likely for you to actually, for that play to be worth it, right? So that's another thing that you have to consider. How well do you think you're playing? Are you very confident or not in going for that play alongside if the value is worth it or not? But anyway, I immediately looked to path behind after doing that type of play. I rushed my primary fire, but I do get the kill on her, and that just goes to show. Doesn't matter how well I feel like I'm playing, right? I can still get easier kills than that by pathing properly and getting surprise plays. My Zarya does some parkour, gets up there and finishes the soldier for me, good. We're denying them high ground, which is the main goal. The kills are secondary, as good as they are. The main objective is to delay them and posture for positioning, right? Which is what I'm doing. I'm always staying in deflect to rotation range, while going for these plays. This blade was awkward. I guessed wrong where the soldier was gonna go after my first swing, so that means I don't get to finish on him. I do get to live though, which is good, and now that means I can keep annoying them on the high ground by bouncing between cover. And now I'm in the perfect position to follow up on the grab, and now we're just chilling. Now at this point I'm thinking about the way that I'm gonna approach the situation. I already repeatedly stayed close here, used deflect to stay a little bit up and then dash to the positions that are safer and stuff like that. I felt like I didn't want to repeat this play, so I wanted to mix it up. I thought that they would still go high ground, not low ground, so going for this play that I wanted to go would be actually a very interesting way to get to do another pathing play on them, right? Which would be to walk climb here, and then I can dash through. And then that's free damage, that's free pressure, they might get a cooldown out of them, maybe the Brig tries to bash me but she's too late on that, and I get value through that. And then I can reset back to low ground, they probably don't chase me, I have a lot of things I can do, I can even just walk climb and stall here indefinitely and save my double jump to get out of here and they can't chase me. So many things I can do. I was just looking for a different angle, and them being a low ground just catches me off guard because they have the time to go to high ground, right? They probably should still be trying to go for high ground. But since I see that they're going low ground, I posture a little bit for positioning, and then I try to play high ground, see if I can get a drop assassination. I got Zen low, but I thought that it wasn't worth the risk. If the Brig turns, gets a bash on me, I'm dead. I don't think that it is worth the risk for me to take. Now the Hog doesn't have hook, I'm trying to deflect to help my Zarya to stay alive. And then this feels more dangerous than the play before when the Zen was low and I probably would kill him with just a dash and a melee. But this is actually less dangerous than before. The main reason for this is 1. Rally, and 2. Pay attention. Let's pay attention to where the enemy is rotating as this happens. So I'm gonna be getting rally armor, right? I deflect to try to help my Zarya out. And look at this. Look at where the enemy team rotated. The Brig was close the moment that I was trying to go for the play, but she then gets further and further away as I'm going for the play because the enemy team is rotating inside and Soldier is trying to rotate here, right? This feels very dangerous, but with 275 HP, I think that is what I had, and the enemy rotation going towards there, I had a perfect read on them to have 1, I was feeling like I was playing well, and I felt like I was in a distance for the dash that would give me a very good head start on the Zen. It would be a surprise play because he probably wouldn't expect me to go for it, and I would have some time on the enemy team peeling because of the timing read that I had on the enemy team. Still would be better probably for me to do a pathing play on them, right? Because that means I'll have to use the dash in, I can, let's say, walk, climb, drop on him, and I have the dash to get out if I need to, dodge the Brig stun, and dash back here, and then I can still maybe poke and finish him off, but this is the play that I ended up going for, and it worked, right? Now the Brig is trying to push me. I can, 1, dash out here, but I decided that if the Soldier isn't gonna push, and it probably shouldn't push because it's 94% already, they are down 2, and him over chasing me just gives them last chance to win here. I decide to stay here, and if the Brig wants to fight, I'm gonna gladly fight her. So what ends up happening, the Brig gets too close, and she tries to be too greedy with the bash, swing, and then whip shot. So I turn while she's down her shield, I get 2 headshots and a dash in, and that's enough to finish her. And so I get both supports and manage to live, and now both DPS are dead. Probably should have been my kills, Tracer steals them. That is this round. Very, very clean. Not free from mistakes, but this was definitely my best round of this match. And the only round that we won. Now let's move on to the last round. I could arguably have TP'd our team out. My team TP'd out and I didn't see. Usually you don't TP out on top here, like my team did. Usually people TP from here. I don't know if this is faster. This probably is because this is a straight line basically over to cages, which is where my team wanted to fight, on this right side here, than just going main, because if you go main then you have to go inside here, which prevents you from just walking straight because you have to go inside here and look right and then look back. But whatever, I end up going main here. I also probably should have been the one TPing your team, but Tracer is also a hero with good mobility, so she can TP and then swap back and triple blink and be close to the team, so that's fine. I go main just to check what the enemy team is doing. Soldier is main, I deflect, try to not take damage, and then I want to do the same play as before that I did on the last round. Go over the roof if I have the opportunity to try to pounce on someone that is unaware. The Soldier is checking me, so I decide no, this isn't worth it. If they're not gonna be playing cages and they're gonna play here, they're gonna have a clear sight line on me when I try to go for this play. Plus I'm not gonna have a target on this, so I might as well give up on this play and do something else. I could go cages with my team, but I wanted to get an off angle or a pincer attack, something of that sort. I decided to try to go here, get this mini, and go around. I did not know that there was a Pharah here. I react to her as fast as I can, and then I managed to run away. But this is bad because now the Pharah is pressuring for free, and we're while I'm resetting, they're up. So now they get the cap. Hope the good thing is my team doesn't die. Now I get to look for this play because the soldier isn't paying attention to me, and I'm close range to the Pharah. And since we have Tracer, the best character in our team to get rid of the Pharah is the Ana. And probably after that it's me, because of the vertical mobility I have. So I decide that the Pharah is my duty, and I go for the Pharah. Sadly don't get to kill the Mercy, but now we're taking angles on them. I get some good entry damage on the Ana, and then I get to finish her. Try to deflect preemptively on the Pharah because she might go for a rocket on me, so I don't want to take 156 damage to the face. And then we get a good fight. I could have played that a little bit better, killed the Mercy when I chased after I killed the Pharah, but happens. This is a really good deflect that I did. Unfortunately, my secondary fire didn't go off before the dash. That would have guaranteed the kill. The kill that I got was a little bit lucky because the soldier didn't strafe in time, but I do get the kill, force the res off, that's good. I have blade available. I don't know if I'm gonna wait for nano or not. Hopefully I will, but yeah. Unfortunately, again, my right click didn't go off, only my melee, but at least there's some pressure on the Pharah. Since the Ana isn't helping the Orisa, I'm just going on her, right? Because if she's not gonna get supported, sure, I'm not the best at it, but the Mercy is with the Pharah. If the Ana isn't healing the Orisa, I can take her down from behind the shield, and that's gonna mean that my team is gonna have better angles to for example, land nades on the enemy team and poke them down, right? So I decided that it was worth it at that scenario, considering how things were going, like the Pharah already far away, I wasn't set up. I would need to walk a lot to actually get to contest the Pharah, and there would be a low chance of me killing her. I could have maybe tried to look for the Ana, but I thought that, okay, if I have this good of an angle on the Orisa, I might as well go for her. I can take her a good chunk of her HP very quickly, force out cooldown, and if the Ana appears to help the Orisa, I go for the Ana, otherwise they kill the Orisa, and that's what happens. Then the Nano Blade gets a lot of value. I don't know how the Mercy lives this, which is very unfortunate. And that's another thing, right? The Mercy was very low. My team did not finish her in the well, I was calling that. I probably should have finished her myself. But even though I got 3 kills with the Nano Blade, I should have killed the Mercy still, and maybe even the soldier, and we end up losing this fight. When I just had everything going for me, right? I played that very well. I set myself up for success with the Nano Blade, and I fucked up the easy kill on the Mercy that was sleeping, because she was sleeping in a position which made it harder for me to headshot long range, so I should have just walked up closer to her and triple headshot melee. But I decided not to do that and rush my shots, hoping that she would be slapped in a position that was good for me, which she wasn't. So I just rushed the situation instead of analyzing that she was slapped in a bad position for me to headshot her. So I needed to walk up more. The soldier was unaware of me, so I didn't need to rush my shots. The hog was unaware of me, so I didn't need to rush my shots. So that would have guaranteed us that fight. They wouldn't have been able to stall with Valkyrie and stuff like that, so we would have still have point possession and would have won a fight where they used a lot of ultimates. Now I get an aggro position on the enemy team, which is very good. Now they have to look back for me, but I don't react in time for the slip, and this is very bad because now this is the best opportunity that we had to retake, because this means this is an angle that they constantly have to check. The moment that they check me, my team has less pressure to walk up. The moment that they don't check me, I have a chance to get a kill. So this is a win-win for me, no matter what I do. The only moment that the enemy team really wins from this play is if they hard W into my team and take a 65. But at that point I might be able to get a kill anyway. And then the next fighter might be favored because their kills would have been more in the past than ours, right? Our kills would have been more recent than theirs. That would mean that our next fight would mean an advantage for us because we would be respawning faster than they would, right? So it's still arguably a win-win for me for this pincer play, but I end up fucking it up because I don't deflect this leap. That is another fight win that I throw away when I set myself up for it, right? One with the Nano Blade and then fucking up the Mercy that is left, and the other with a flank that takes around 20% for me to work because I have to 1, flank around until they don't look and I'm full health and I have good positioning and I'm close to the enemy. And chill, my team is there in a position where when I push I'm gonna be getting value, and it's not like the entire enemy team turns at me, kills me, and then looks back at my team and my team is there. I need my team to be pushing in for the timing to be right for the pincer attack. So that's another very big fuck up in a match that feels like I'm playing so well. Probably should have pushed the Orisa since she's alone. Soldier should be dead from that engagement. I was looking for the power drive. I did over 100 damage to that soldier, but it's unfortunate we don't get the kill. They're ulting, they still have possession. Not worth it for me to really pick when they have visor up still. I'm respecting the hook, I am also trying to look in being in a position where I can punish the Pharah. I feel like this play that I'm doing is good. He's still half HP. I still haven't committed any cooldowns. Now, the whole hogs, my div ends up feeding. Unfortunate, I cannot be in a position to deflect the whole hog, right? That's the unfortunate thing. I'm not gonna dash in because of things that I already talked about in the first round. And there's also an Ana that is pocketing him, so very unlikely that I somehow manage to get my diva out alive and kill the hog or something that gets value from using both the cooldowns here. So I don't. I end up just dealing damage. There is still the hog is the only thing that I can really do. Maybe I shouldn't have used the dash, that could have changed stuff. It would have given me a better blade engagement. I tried to go for the squishes with the blade instead of tanks because that's the only thing I should have been doing. But arguably, if I don't use the dash here, I can dash, blade, and then I have the dash reset to help me burst targets quicker instead of letting them just out-heal my damage, which is what they did. And then I would have also had the liberty of choosing to go for the Ana instead of going for the soldier, because then I would have the second dash to go for her, right? I wouldn't be forced to go into him because he's the only squishy in range of swings. So that's another mistake that I did. And this cost us the match. Again, like I talked in this very start, a match where I did so much and yet there are so many mistakes which if I fixed even a single one of them, we probably win. So this just goes to show that this hard carried mentality, or however you want to twist the idea, I carried, I hard carried, doesn't matter. Like, my team is bad, it's just something that you need to get out of your mind. Don't care about stats too much. Stats like context, and even in context you can fall in traps with them of feeling like, okay, if I have a KD of 5 and 75% kill participation, it's on my team for not doing more, not on me not doing more. Right? In reality, you should just be trying to improve your own gameplay to have more agency over whether you win or lose in the other matches that you play, right? That's what it ends up being about. Sure, you're gonna get some teams that are better than others, and sometimes you're gonna win because of your team, not because of you. But the only thing that you can control on every match is your own inputs in it, because you are the only consistent thing between all of the matches that you play, unless you always duel with someone, right? At which points then that player is also a common input that's gonna be existent in every match. Realistically, you should only be expecting your own inputs to be the only thing that you can actively try to improve on every single match. So that's why I brought this match to be reviewed. Let's try to talk about this mentality and how it is a trap and how moving away from it can really help you improve and get the most out of your other matches and of your learning process, right? And I hope that this replay helped and that it has been very good for educational purposes. And yeah, I'll be seeing you all in the next time.